Sorry about that, I just had to check my notes. Yeah, so I took the Northwestern for 2 weeks and then had to wait to come on my period. And the consultant said if you don't get your period within the next 2 weeks after stopping it, then to ring them, which I hadn't. So I rang them. So she said 2 weeks from that Friday. I rang them and then they said, oh, the consultant has actually put the 20th. So I had to wait until the Monday then. Fortunately, I was booked in for the scan on the Monday to see what was going on, and sod's law, within a couple of hours before my appointment I actually did come on my period, so luckily I was able to cancel that appointment. So yeah, started my period, and then from day 2 of my period till day 8 I've taken the estradiol tablets, and they're the 2mg tablets, and you start off on an 8mg dose, so that's 4 tablets a day. And they did warn me, like, just as pre-warning, they can make you feel really sick, and yes, they did. They have made me feel extremely nauseous. Oh, hello Ralph in the background. Bless him. They do make you feel really sick, and I don't think there's much that you can really do about it unless you ask for like an anti-sickness to be prescribed, which I don't really want to bother them asking for that. So after day 8, between days 9 and 12 of your cycle, you take 12mg, so 6 tablets a day, which is what I'm currently on. And in the meantime of all this happening, let me just skip back quickly. So we then got told we need to come in for another appointment to sign more consent forms. So the forms that we've already done twice before, but they need up-to-date ones. So that was on Thursday the 13th of November 2025. We had to arrange for both me and Lewis to go in and sign the forms in front of them to say that we're happy to go ahead with everything. And they had also dropped the bomb because I had a message come up on my NHS app saying, oh, your smear is due. So then I thought, oh, I don't know if I can have a smear this close to a transfer, because I didn't know if it like interfered with your womb or anything. So I rang the clinic before the consent form appointment and said, I'm going to book in for my smear, is that okay? Like, nothing will get cancelled, will it? And they said, no, that's fine, just get it done as soon as possible, because if your smear runs out, you can't have the transfer. So I was like, great. Rang my GP surgery and I said, I need to get in for my smear as soon as possible, please. And they said, we can get you in at the end of November. And bearing in mind, I think this was right at the beginning of November, I'd rang them. I said, oh, I'm really sorry, but can I push you? Can you just squeeze me in anywhere, please? Because otherwise my IVF transfer is going to get cancelled, and I've already started the medication. And it's not really my fault. And they sort of said, oh, there is one that we can squeeze you in, and it'll be the Thursday the 13th of November, which was the same day as the consent form signing, but luckily at a different time. So I said, yeah, great, just get me in for the smear as soon as possible, please. So that was good, that was booked. And we went to oh, sorry, I've missed a bit again. Skip back before we went in to sign the consent forms. They had emailed us another lot of forms for our GP to sign again, which we'd already done twice before, and we needed to get done again. So I went to my GP surgery, and they said, the receptionist said that she had already had someone bring one of these forms in that week and had been told that they had to make an appointment with the doctor to be able to get them signed. So I said, right, okay, I'll ring tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, try and get an appointment to get this signed. And bearing in mind, we only had like a week before our consent form, no, 2 weeks before the appointment, and they said you must have these forms ready for that appointment, otherwise your IVF could get cancelled. So we were stressing to get it done, and then went to Lewis's GP surgery, handed the girl the form, and she sort of said leave it with us. And then I explained like, oh, I need it as soon as possible please, and she said, oh, just wait a minute and I'll go and see the doctor, which was really nice. So she went through, got it signed. Stupidly, I walked off without checking the form, and I realised that they had to put the practice stamp on it, and they also have to put the doctor's name, and all they'd done is put the doctor's signature on the form, and it wouldn't have been accepted like that. So I went back the next day to Lewis's doctors and said, oh, can you get whoever that doctor's signature is just to write their name and then just stamp it? And they said no. They said, I don't know who that doctor is that signed it, I don't know that signature, and I don't know who you've spoken to last night, but I'm not just going to go through and sort that, so you're going to have to leave it with us, and it'll go through the admin team and everything, which I get it, there's a protocol, I understand. It was just very stressful for us, very like time constraint. So I said, okay, that's fair enough, but this is the time limit that we've got. Please, if there's anything that you can do to hurry it along, I'd be very grateful. So she said, I'll try and get it done by the end of today for you if possible. So I said, oh, thank you, left it with them. Oh, they made me fill a new form out, because I don't know if they believed me about this doctor's signature, I'm not sure, but they made me fill a new form in to start from the beginning. So I handed that in to them, then went to my doctor's appointment, and they were really good. They just sat in the room, said, you know, what do you need this form for, explained, asked them to sign it and stamp it and everything, and they did. So that was really good. Didn't have a problem getting an appointment that day, luckily. So then by the end of Friday, Lewis's doctor still hadn't done it. I left it until the Wednesday the following week, rang again, and I got told, oh, it was put in a doctor's tray that isn't actually at work until this Friday. So that was another week wasted, and it wasn't hurried along like I'd asked it to be. And then Lewis got a phone call on the Friday, which unfortunately he had missed because he doesn't get a lot of signal at work, and we was a bit like, I thought they were just going to sign it, I didn't realise they was going to ring as well. So then I had to ring them back and say, please can you ring him the next day, and I think they tried to ring him again but not got through, but they'd sent him a text to say, just to let you know the form's ready for collection. So he went and collected it, and then I think, did they have to make an adjustment, Lou? I think something had happened and they hadn't practice stamped it again or something, so he went in and just said, look, this is the second time I'm coming back, please can you just do it, and they did. So then we went to the consent form appointment in the clinic that we have to travel to, and yeah, they were like, make sure you do get your smear test today, and make sure they do label it up properly, because I've had a smear test before where they've done the smear test but they've labelled it up wrong, so it's invalid the sample, and I've had to go in for a repeat. And they said, I went in for the smear test and they said, oh, it can take up to 6 weeks for your results to come back, which would be longer than we needed it for. So I said if there's anything you can do to like speed it up, because it could again cancel our IVF. And they said, oh, don't worry, hopefully it won't be that long. So I said, okay, I know there's nothing that we can really do, we've just got to hope, because my current smear had been validated until the 14th of December, I think it was the 14th of December, and that's literally around the time where we was due to have a transfer. So I was like, oh no, it's literally touch and go if we're going to be able to have it now again. After getting excited. Luckily, after about 6-7 days after the smear test, I got the results back, and thank goodness they came back negative, because if anything had come back, obviously I would have had to have it cancelled and have, like, if I needed abnormal cells removing, I would have had to have had that done first or what have you. Sorry, I'm just rambling, but I'm trying to get through as much as I can. So yeah, we're up to day, not sure what day it is, 9, 10, 11, could be day 12 that I'm on currently. I lose count, to be honest. I'll have to check my diary again, because I've been poorly and I just don't know the days of the week at the minute. I can't actually believe I'm talking this much with tonsillitis, because it's killing. But yeah, I'm on antibiotics for it, so hopefully it'll have cleared up by the end of the week, I'm hoping, fingers crossed. Because like I say, if you're unwell, then they won't do a transfer. So yeah, so taking 12 milligrams currently of the estradiol, and tonight I'm going to start the Cyclogest, which is progesterone pessaries, 2 a night. And I went in for a scan. What day did I go in for a scan? One day last week, I think. No, it wasn't. It was the 2nd of December, whenever that was. The 2nd of December, I went in for a scan to see if the estrogen tablets had made a difference yet. And I was measuring, I think they said 6.5 millimeters, which is not very good, unfortunately. Which was a bit of a blow, because obviously I can't take the patch now and the tablets aren't working as good. You need preferably a womb lining of 8, and I'm at 6.5 for a transfer, so yeah, it's not looking great, but she said give you a bit longer on them, see if anything improves in the meantime, and they said they're still going to go ahead and make those plans for the transfer anyway. So I've got my date for my transfer, which is very soon. So I'm like, quick, get to the end of them antibiotics ASAP and hope that I'm well enough, and just hope that everything goes according to plan, because I had planned to like eat really healthy, do plenty of exercise this week, and I've just been off work sick, and it's sort of made me quite stressed as well, which is not good, but just trying to stay positive, because at least we're going to have a go, we're going to have a first try, well, touch wood. Yeah, I'm just seeing if there's anything else to update you on. Don't think there is. Oh, I think that's pretty much where we're at now. I had planned to do some like little videos where I'm taking the tablets and stuff, but I've just not felt up to it. this week at all. So I'm hopefully going to do a little video on our day of transfer, of like travelling there and what's happening, maybe even a little picture of the embryo that we get, if it thaws out okay and if we're still going ahead. Very exciting, but I like get my hopes up, but then I'm like, oh, I don't really want to get my hopes up because I'm not well, and if you're not well, your body can like reject it, and just if anything else gets in the way. There's been that many things where I've been like, oh yeah, nice one, it's happening, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, but if this happens, then it can't go ahead. Like the whole smear results, and can't even believe I'm coming on YouTube with no makeup, looking and feeling like this, but it is what it is. I just felt like I needed to update you guys and get it off my chest. So hopefully, I'm not sure when the next video will be. Maybe it might be in about another 3 weeks, maybe. See how long I can like hold off from recording another video, because it's really exciting. And not many people have seen part 1 and part 2 yet, so I'm like, I don't think family members and friends will have seen this really. So, but if you do, I'm not bothered anyway. You will find out the journey eventually. So yeah, excited but nervous at the same time. And I'm gonna leave it at that. And like I say at the end of all my videos, do not take this as medical advice. Consult your own doctor before doing anything, because what might work for me might not work for you. It might not be safe. Okay, so yeah, ciao for now.